All right, everyone. Hi. I've been counting the days until today, counting the days for the start of our 52-day challenge. My name is Yawa Hansen-Quao, and I feel thankful, grateful, and honored that you said yes to joining the 52-day Renew Challenge. This is something that came together from my own personal transformation journey that started a little over a year ago in earnest. I'd say the journey has been a little over 2 years, but the physical transformation in this past year has been phenomenal. And because so many people were asking me to tell them what exactly I was doing, I felt inspired to put together a program to teach it the way it was taught to me and the way that I really held on to really transform my life, not just the physical, but the practical, the emotional, the spiritual, the marriage, the business. It was a total life overhaul. So I'm glad you said yes to this. This is the third cohort of the Renew Challenge. And I can't even believe it. The fact that, we've already progressed this quickly. My sense is that many of you, some of whom I've had the chance to talk to one-on-one, are in it to win this. And winning for you looks like transforming your life, getting clarity about where you're going, restoring your body, energy, losing some weight, getting off medications, and really being plugged in to the best and highest version of you. And you're in the right place because this is exactly what the renew process for me. When I started this journey, I was very overweight. I was on medications for diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. And I really was lethargic and slow. At my heaviest, I weighed 126 kilos. So you can imagine. I was with a friend for lunch the other day, and she says, Yawa, you are like 1/3 of your former self. And that reality hit me so strongly because the physical transformation, especially for people who haven't seen me in a long time, who knew me before, has been the reason why a lot of people have been curious about this program. But I want to encourage you to think about this as more than just a weight loss or fitness community. I want you to think about this as a coaching journey. In my professional life, I've been working with women leaders predominantly, but increasingly I'm working with a lot of men in leadership as well, as an advisor, as an executive coach, as someone who's really journeying with them to get from point A to point B. And I want you to see this as a group coaching experience because for some people, they don't really need to lose weight. They don't really need to get off medications. They just need clarity. Like, what am I doing next? And this same process that helped me to shed weight and all of that is the same process that helped me to kickstart my professional journey. And so throughout this journey, you're going to be hearing a lot about me. I want to reinforce some of the things that I've been sharing, especially if you attended the deep dive sessions that I did in preparation for this cohort. I want you to know that I am not being prescriptive in any of what I'm sharing. I'm sharing with you the transformational habits and strategies that really enabled me to, quite honestly, transform and turn my physical, my mental, my spiritual, and my practical, and also my monetary life around. I was doing the math and looking over last year in terms of, just returns for my business, my consulting business did way better than it's done than it did the previous year, and I did way less work. You know, one of the key things that we will look at in this journey together is work. Like, what is our posture towards work? Can we work more smartly? What is the next and best use of us? And that's why I really feel like it would be such a limited way to look at this experience if you thought that this was just a weight loss and fitness group. All right. So, My goal for tonight is to start off by walking you through a few tips that I think will help you make the most of this 52-day experience. And then I'm going to open up the floor and ask everyone on the call to introduce themselves. And I want to do that because 52 days is a long time to be in community with people, and to not know them makes it less likely you'll be engaged. So I really want us to feel good about knowing each other, knowing why each person is here, and then hopefully foster some accountability and some bonding within the group over the, next 2 months or so that we will journey together. I wanted to also lay the ground rules for saying, or by saying, that I have a strong commitment to confidentiality and discretion in this community. So I want you to honor the fact that I'm not sat in your room with you right now or wherever it is you are. I can't see if you have a recording device, but we want to trust each other that whatever we share here will stay here. In each of the two cohorts before, uh, there were really deep things shared, not just by me, but by other participants. And the only reason why I think this keeps working is because people feel safe. So my goal is for you to commit, everyone in this community to commit, and I'll send an email later today, with what that really means, our commitment to confidentiality and discretion. So for example, if I notice an abnormally amount of increase in shares of some of the videos because I can see the back end analytics, I might just uh, block everyone's access to those videos because I want to make sure that these private coaching conversations that we're having, I feel safe and everyone else who's in this community feels safe to share as they really feel led, as opposed to having to pose as if nothing is wrong, and we have to use the technology because everyone is in different places and parts of the world. And it's a blessing, but I do see that sometimes people can take this blessing and make a mess out of it. So I really want to encourage confidentiality and discretion. And the fact is, you paid to be here. So to share this with someone who didn't pay means that you're cheating yourself and you're also cheating the other people who paid for this information. So I hope that, clears the air a bit about that. But let me now walk you through some of the things that I think will help you be successful on this 52-day journey. You'll notice that I am standing to do this presentation. And one of the things that I'm going to encourage throughout the challenge is movement. So throughout the 52 days, we have three major commitments. Commitment number one is that we will hydrate. All right, so everyone, I would encourage you, if you can get a dedicated water bottle or have a dedicated water bottle, to measure your water intake. This takes about 1.5 milliliters or so, 1.5 liters of water. So at least 2 liters of water is what we're asking. So my goal is to drink two of these at least a day. So throughout the challenge, we've got three commitments. The first commitment is hydration, that you drink at least 2 liters of water each day. And I have other bottles that have measurements on them. I mean, this is in in its carrier, so that I take it with me. I can put it on my strap. But I have another bottle that has like the measurements on it to tell me how much I've drank. If you can find a dedicated bottle, I think it could be really helpful for you to keep track of your hydration requirements through the challenge. All right. The second commitment is movement. And that's why, I encourage, if you can stand for your meetings instead of sit, it always helps. So I invested in a standing thing for my desk. So I have my computer on my desk, and most of my Zoom calls, instead of sitting for an hour, I now stand for an hour. It's just another way of making sure I get movement. If I turn around my MacBook, you can probably see on the floor of my office, I've got a workout mat. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see my workout mat? All right. So I also commit the commitment to movement is that every day you will move for at least 20 minutes a day. So I just brought in this workout mat to be right in front of my desk, so I can't say I ever forgot. So when I'm sitting here, usually in the mornings, I try to get up and just come in here. I put on a workout video, I do the workout, I get sweaty, and I go and have my bath and then get started with the day. And I try to do it before my kids wake up. I don't know about you, but I have really young kids. So I try to just do it in the morning. Okay. Maybe for you, late night after work works because you have to wake up early and hit the road to beat the traffic. I know each of us has different life situations, but I currently do all my work from home. So I'm able to do this, but I'm just showing you practical examples. Like I'm standing up right now. So, a lot of doctors say that sitting is the new smoking. So if we can just incorporate more standing into our day than sitting, it makes a world of difference. If you're also able to invest in weights, and this is my other prop that I have on my desk here. One of the things that I noticed last year, I lost a lot of weight very quickly. And I wish someone had told me to start weight training earlier than I started. So I didn't really start weight training until last October. So I lost all this weight and I had a lot of flabby skin and a lot of, just not that it didn't look good, but it could have looked better if I was introduced to weight training. So in as part of your 20 minutes a day of movement, we want to encourage you, if you're able, to incorporate weights, especially because a lot of the studies are showing that weight training really helps with overall long-term health outcomes. So muscle burns more fat, for example, in the body. So if you build on more muscle, you're likely to really feel better and have better results and then look more toned as you become a better version of you physically. So every day, commitment number one is to drink more water. Commitment number two is to move for 20 minutes a day and incorporate weights if you can. Before I got these weights, I would just take some heavy books or fill some water bottles up so you don't have to buy weights. I don't feel like anybody needs to buy special things. I didn't actually get these weights until last October. So I've got these 2.5 kilo weights. So I just sometimes sit behind my desk, do one arm for a few minutes, do another arm for a few minutes. So sometimes I'm fully dressed and I'm just, I have 10 minutes. Let me just do 10 minutes of some heavy lifting, or I stand up behind the desk and I just do a few squats for 10 minutes. Just movement. We want movement for 20 minutes a day. Okay. So commitment number one is throughout the challenge, we want to drink at least 2 liters of water. We also want to move for 20 minutes a day, and if possible, incorporate weights just so that you get better results. All right. The third commitment is I want everyone to consider what is something that I can fast for this 52-day period. So, for example, in our first cohort, there was someone who said, I have an unhealthy relationship with bread. So, for 52 days, I'm not going to eat bread, right? Someone else said, I have an unhealthy relationship with social media. So, for the 52 days, I'm going to get off of social media, right? All of the, well, with the exception of WhatsApp, I think. No, I think she also went off of WhatsApp. And so she was just getting the daily email, right? So each of us knows that there's something that we struggle to say no to, something that has an outsized impact in our lives, not for good. And that's the third commitment that I ask each of us to make. Is there something that you could fast, like stop doing for this 52-day period? And I encourage you to prayerfully consider what that could be. If it's something that is an attitude, a behavior, a food, a practice, or something. And the reason why that's the third commitment we make is that when you're on the journey of transformation, there's something about turning down the volume of your physical appetite to increase the volume of your spiritual receptiveness. And for those of us that are Christians, we understand, that fasting is a practice that Christ really practiced and upheld. If you're Muslim, fasting is a big part of your life as well. In fact, science has caught up with us. And so, one thing that's really popular in health communities now is intermittent fasting. So, it's a way of turning down the volume, slowing down the pace so that your body can fix stuff that it doesn't quite get time to fix because it's always eating. So, by fasting a food, that's what you do. But imagine if you fasted social media and all of that time that you're usually on social media, you're actually investing in learning or reading or in investing in your business and actually moving forward. I don't know about you, but my phone will tell me how many hours I spent each day. Like I averagely am on my phone for at least 5 hours a day. And I wonder to myself, like, how do I shorten that? So in this new year, from 9 to 5, my phone is just in do not disturb mode. If I've not planned out my day to speak to you, then we'll speak later. If I don't have a plan on my day to follow up with you, then we're following up later. But it's just been so freeing over the past few weeks that I've been doing that, that actually my husband knows how to reach me, my kids, like emergency people know how to get me, but to just block off the time so that I'm focused and I'm present. It's made a world of difference. So, the third commitment we're making is to fast something. So, commitment one, we're drinking at least 2 liters of water every day. Commitment two, we're committing to moving every day. And it can be as simple as behind your desk, squatting, raising bottles of water, moving, but we want you to break a sweat if possible. Commitment number three, we will need to fast. Fast something. And, I'm not making this a religious fast, but I do encourage us, especially as we're seeking transformation, that let's not leave our faith out of it. My journey, if you listen to any of my deep dive videos, really started with a deep study of the book of Nehemiah. And that's where I realized that Nehemiah was able to do this real transformative work in 52 days. And that's really the roots of this 52-day challenge that I felt spiritually inspired. That, Lord, if I were to give you 52 days, could you remake and remold my body too? And that's where a lot of the learning that I'm going to be pouring into you came from. So I really, really am thankful that you're all here. I'm thankful that I've had the chance to lay a foundation for confidentiality and discretion to talk about the 3 commitments that I encourage all of us to make throughout the next 52 days. We'll be meeting on Tuesdays and Fridays. And then I will send out the calendar invitations to all of you so that it's blocked on your calendars. And like I said, if you ever miss a session, everything is recorded. You get the videos. I share it in the WhatsApp group and in your email. And you are the one who's responsible to make sure that that information just stays within the community. I share all of our video recordings as an unlisted YouTube link, which means that no one can search and find it. If someone has found it, it's because someone in this community has shared it. So I feel confident that that's the easiest way to do it for now. I am looking into other systems to make it less likely that it can be shared or distributed without authorization. But everything else just seems so cumbersome right now. So I'm for this cohort, I'm still going to do the unlisted YouTube videos, which means again, resist the urge to forward it to someone, resist the urge to, broadcast it, because on this videos, I get very vulnerable and I encourage others to do same, because why would we even be here if we didn't want real change? Why would we even spend the time, invest the money? Why? So I believe God wants to do something great in each of us. And I believe that fundamentally, this 52-day Renew Challenge is a preparation for prominence. And I take it seriously because I feel like God is is trying to break so many of us as women into our next levels. And part of it means that we've got to get our temple right. We've got to get our mindsets reconfigured. We've got to come into a new sense of ourselves. Okay? So, can you show me some emojis to let me know you're with me? I know I've been talking for a bit. Can you maybe just show me by an emoji? Okay, I see someone's come on video. Look at you, Joan. I see I see a real live emoji with your finger up. Good to see you there. Thank you. I see heart emojis, fingers up. Okay. Awesome. So now I would love for us to begin with the introductions. Um, and I'm just going to call people out. I hope you're able to unmute and share as I call your name. And I'm going to call it in the order that I see it. So if you're unable to unmute immediately, just drop a note in the chat box and I'll move on. But hopefully everyone will unmute and share. And if you're able to get on video, we'd love to see your beautiful face as well. So I'll start with the first name on my list is Anyele Purby. Anyele, are you able to unmute? All right. Oh, I think I may have disabled people be able to unmute. Okay, forgive. I think that's an admin thing. I noted some some people unmuted inadvertently before, so I disabled it. Aniele, can you hear me now? Are you able to speak?
Hi.
All right.
Just switching devices so that I could turn my video on. Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anyele Pebi, and well, I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm an entrepreneur, Christian mom, wife, mom of seven, and I am really excited to be on this journey. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, my best friend, joined this journey, and when she told me about it, I was laughing at her because I mean I couldn't imagine committing to 52 days of transformation. But I visited her in Ottawa in September. When I did, she was under the weather. She was generally unwell and moving slowly and had all kinds of health issues. And we prayed about it. And then I went to her place again in November. And boy, oh boy, had she transformed. You know, she was much more active. Like she was healthy, she was upbeat, and she was eating differently also. I mean, she's my eating partner for things we shouldn't be eating. And so I saw the transformation. She wasn't tempted by chocolates. I ate all the chocolate myself, you know, and I wasn't feeling great. And I looked at how she was living and you know what she was eating and how she was feeling, and it just was such a stark difference that I decided that I should join this program. And in fact, before then, even I just learned from here to drink more water, eat better. And I've already begun to feel better. And so I'm looking forward to being part of this program. I'm speaking too much probably. And in particular, I'm looking forward to being accountable, being part of a community, and actually learning self-care as well as putting boundaries around myself. I'm like such a go-getter. I'm always thinking I'm superhero, whatever, because I don't seem to acknowledge I have limits. And so I'm as you said, Yawa, everybody's cheering me on as I self-destruct. So I'm looking forward to learning how to self-care, how to have self-care and put boundaries in place.
Oh,
Thank you.
awesome. We're so glad to have you. And thank you so much, Agnelli, for sharing. I've admired the work that you do, and I know that, look, there is so much more, and imagine how much more could get done, but done in a way that is sustainable when you get yourself kind of to the place of optimum wellness. So I'm excited to journey with you, and I too fall into the category of always go, 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 go. And people will clap you till death if you're not careful, if you don't stop yourself and pull yourself back. So I believe this is a gift of God's mercy to us to have this opportunity. And I can't wait to see what testimonies will emerge for you. All right. Well, next on my list is Mautor. Mautor, please unmute and introduce yourself. Mautor, are you
Hi,
speaking?
everybody.
Okay, great.
My name is Mauto. Yes, I am. And I'm excited to be part of this to renew the day challenge. This is the second time I'm engaging in this, and I hope to benefit
Mautor, I don't know if it's just me.
fully
It seems to be breaking a bit. I'm going to mute you just for the quality of the
because the first time,
recording.
although I was part of it, okay.
Okay, Mautor, regrettably, I muted you just because the sound quality isn't great. If you're able to reposition, I'm going to come back to you. But I want to move on to Bawanile. Bawanile, are you able to unmute and share? All right, Bawanile, are you available to share? If not, let me come to you, Benedicta.
Hi.
All
Hi,
right,
everyone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me try and turn my camera on.
Yay,
I'm on the
another
move.
face.
I'm on the move, and let me just make it quick. My name is Benedicta Celeste Amenyo, and why did I join? Every single year, I want to reset, and I have been doing it, trying to do it all by myself. And I acknowledge that I lack the discipline, I lack the consistency to keep it up. So when I saw this post, yeah, your post on Facebook, I actually saw it last year and I wanted to join. And I'm like, the time difference and everything. I gave myself excuses and I backed out after filling the form. But this year, I acknowledge I need a reset. I want clarity. And the reason I decided to continue was because um, you mentioned this is not entirely about weight loss. All the various aspects of life you want to reset is relevant to me at this time. So my relationship, my work, I just need clarity, and that's why I'm here. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for sharing, Benedicta. I see you're at Costco, yeah? One of the things I miss when I'm in Ghana is like a good Costco run. Go and get what you need in bulk.
Yeah.
But Benedicta, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you've committed. I'm glad that you are saying yes to you and the investment to reset. I also think that, for from what I've come to know from my own journey, doing things in community helps with the accountability. And I hope that you will come in with your head, your shoulders, your knees, your toes, your everything to make the most of this experience. So we're so glad to have you here, Benedicta. Thank you so much. Clara, are you able to unmute? If so, please unmute and go next.
Hello everyone. Hi Awa.
All right.
Let me turn my video on briefly. Can you see me?
I see you. Good to see your face. How are you?
Okay. I'm well, Yawa. So my name is Clara. I'm an HR professional. A mom of one, a wife as well, and I'm also Christian. I joined the challenge. I decided to join the challenge. One, because um, like the therapy or should I say Benedicta with exercise, being active. But it so happens that my work schedule makes it close to impossible in going to the gym. So I decided to try out home workouts by doing wall Pilates and sometimes watching videos online. But then I guess I'm so tired, and then I have to wake up very early the next morning, prepare early. It's it's just a cycle of, I try and I'm not able to. I try, I'm not able to, and I know you need to stay accountable too. So, so that's one of them. Looking forward, looking forward to my career. I'm an HR person, but I have been an executive assistant for close to 3 years. So I'm transitioning back into HR, and also I have a few plans of my own to try and start sharing my knowledge in HR with um, young HR professionals. Those that have just passed out of school, those that are just starting out their career, those that are mid-level, through some form of a consultancy, just a small one to start with. And I just don't know how to start. I think I need more of the focus, being focused, having a plan put together. So I'm looking forward to, maybe it might not be the general um goal for this group, but maybe Yawa could help me with that one-on-one. I don't know about that. Maybe tips here and there, but that's the second reason for joining, to gain clarity on the way forward concerning my plans.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and staying disciplined generally.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, Clara. I think you're in the right place. And, I know what it's like to have every good intention to work out or to do this. And just like the way your life is set up, it feels like there's no space. And that's exactly why we don't start the challenge with a deep dive into exercise or nutrition. We start with relationship. We start with getting to the root, not the fruit. We want the roots of why we're not doing what we want to do, why we're not setting the boundaries, why we're not prioritizing ourselves, why. We, this first 10 days of the experience is really on pillar one of asking some hard questions. So I'm really glad you're here, and I can't wait to see what these answers to these questions will unearth for you, to get clarity for what you do next, but also to just really give you a plan that works for you, for your wellness in general. All right. So we've heard from Clara. May I now come to um, Cynthia Tay. Cynthia, are you able to unmute and share? If so, please go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Cynthia.
Okay. I'm Cynthia, a mother of three, a widow. I have joined this challenge before, but by then, I'll say I was confused because I was just going through grieving. And I joined earlier to refocus and get my life back after all the chaos for the past 5, 7 years. And so when I heard this one again, I said no. But that one, I was in a, I was in a funny state, but I still joined and I benefited. So with my mind much better, getting over my grief or having getting over and feeling better now, I think I wanted to now join and refocus my life because I need it. With the first one, I saw so much benefit. And even in that state, then I said to myself, then I'm more poised to reap all the benefit that this challenge is bringing this time. So I'm ready to join and ready to connect with everyone as long as it is going to benefit all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. I have such deep admiration for you. I know it was not easy for you in the previous challenge, dealing and walking through this heaviness of grief, but you showed up anyway. And we saw what God did for you and through you, and to have you back in this as a stronger version of yourself. I'm personally very excited about what may occur. So thank you. Bawanile, I see you've typed in the chat box. So please let's read Bawanile's, she also was from a previous cohort. She joined the challenge for the second time because she gained so much success and momentum in dealing with obesity, and she's still on the journey. She got a chance to understand what was keeping her stuck, and there's so much more that she can still gain. So that's why she's here. We're so glad to have you back, Bawanile. Um, can we hear from Evelyn? Evelyn Kofi, are you able to unmute and share?
Yes. Can you all hear me? Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Evelyn Coffey. I live in Ghana. I'm originally from South Africa, but I'm a Ghanaian now. I'm a nurse. I work in a medical hospital. I'm a wife. I have 2 kids. I joined this just to get some kind of clarity. I actually wanted to join last year when I turned 50. And for some reason or another, I couldn't join. So when I saw this 50, I'm like, I'm still 50. So I can still come in. So I'm really, really, really excited. I've been watching the different journeys of coaching, and I just really never believed in it. And I thought, let me give it a chance. Let me listen. And the fact that it's a group of women, that's also very exciting. So I'm really excited to see what God has to offer for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. I'm so excited too. I had the benefit of seeing Evelyn at church briefly yesterday. So I
Yes.
felt her excitement in person, and I'm just so glad she's here and ready to dig in. And when you turned 50 last year, you said, and I know for many of us, like you have these big shifts. For me, I had turned 40 like 2 years ago, and I started to think, oh my goodness, like why can't I keep up with my kids? Why am I breathing so hard climbing up a flight of stairs? Why? Why? So sometimes these big milestone birthdays are like real good inflection and reflection points. And I'm so glad to have you, Evelyn, and pray that this journey will unearth what it needs to for you. Um, all right, can we hear now from Gloria Kumoji? Gloria, are you able to unmute and share? Oh, I see you've sent us a message in the chat box. Gloria says she's glad she could join. She met a participant before and after she joined the challenge, and she wants the same weight loss benefit. I hear you. That's one of the key things that people tell me. I've been accused of doing weight loss surgery or having gone to do some sort of cosmetic procedure on my body, and I said absolutely not. I just have followed the system and it's worked. And I know like seeing the drastic result in someone can really motivate you to do the thing you've been needing to do for a while. So thank you, Gloria, for sharing in the chat box. I want to move on now to Josephine Nkrumah. Josephine, are you able to unmute and share?
Hi, Yawan, and hi, everyone. My name is
Hi.
Josephine. It's good to be here with a group of women who probably share similar aspirations. And My name again is Josephine. I'm a diplomat. I work outside of Ghana in Liberia. I'm a Christian single mother of two. Um, I think the first thing that piqued my interest in working or in joining this thing was seeing Uyawa and her weight loss. But I think when I did the deep dive, I saw that there was so much more to the program than just the physical. And so for me, it was an opportunity for me to get involved, seek some clarity for myself in terms of my career, in terms of my personal life, and to do things for me that I could only get to that point by understanding and being ready to delve deep into myself through this program and see what the future holds for me. I'm also on this program because I see that sometimes, like many others, we start things that we don't finish. We start off on a high note and then it just kind of fizzles out. But I believe that this communal setting um, fosters commitment by all of us as we become accountable to one another. So I'm happy to be here and to journey with you over the next 52 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So glad to have you here. And, this is quite the international community. We've got people in the US and Canada, in Liberia, in Ghana, at least so far. So we're excited to have you and just really thankful for what is to come and emerge as you commit to this journey. Um, can we hear from Mirabelle? Mirabelle, are you able to unmute and share, please?
Hi, everyone. So
Uh,
my name is Maribel, and I really am grateful for being alive in this era we're in because I think there are just so many possibilities and opportunities. I'm also Christian, married with two children, one of whom is special needs. So that has zapped a lot of my energy and time for a few years. She's doing much better. So that has allowed me time to start looking at other things I want to do in my life. Work-wise, I've been involved in very intense careers all my life and consulting and investing and just trying to stay on top of all of that with family life as well. Now, I joined this challenge because I've always been interested in wellness. I really believe wellness is an amazing tool that could optimize our productivity. And I've always believed it's definitely not exercise and food. It's a whole lot more. And I try to read a lot. So I carry all this knowledge, and here am I with my health not at its optimum. As you know, I went past 40, then I started gaining all kinds of weight and battling with that weight. And, so on the one hand, I was confusing my own self. I have all this knowledge, but it's not showing in my life. So the goal for me with this challenge is to get more runway without burning out. So all these ideas to implement, to do, I have them a dime by the dozen to just be able to figure out strategies to get them done, but to get them done in a way which, I really am able to be happy with my evolution wherever that takes me.
Thank you so much, Maribel, for sharing. And I can so identify with that, knowing what to do, but not being motivated to do it. And I can also identify with your journey as the mother of a special needs son myself. So I know that sometimes we lose ourselves in the care of others, and especially when it's the care of our children, nothing matters. We want them to be fine. We want everything in store for them. And sometimes in the mix, we get lost. And I think, God gives us these moments, these portals, these windows to reprioritize and recalibrate, and I think this is one of them. And one of the things I learned on my journey is it's God that makes you willing and helps you to do. Like you can be so filled with knowledge. The Bible says that knowledge just puffs up. Like I know this, I know, you can be so intellectual with what you know, but it's the Spirit of God that makes you willing and helps you to do it. And that's why I invest a lot of prayer over this community. I mean, this morning I went through the spreadsheet of everybody who's committed and just mentioned you by name, like, Lord, I want you to know that I recognize you're the one who helped me and they're here to learn with me, but I just want to submit everybody to you because you know where each of us is and what each of us needs and how what needs to switch inside of us for us to be willing to do the needful. So I'm glad for your sharing, Mirabel. It's so good to have you here. Nana A. Could you unmute and share? I think that's Nana Afua, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Nana.
good.
Hi, good evening. Good to be here. I guess I should start off by thanking Mirabel, because I think we were speaking, I don't think it's even been a week, sometime last week, and sort of I was telling her about needing something, right? And she told me about this, group or this program. And I think Yawa, I called you or I sent you a message just to get more information about it. And I just actually signed up this morning. So really, really excited to be here. And I think for me, I'm a mother, I'm a single mother of three teenagers. Um, for me, the last few years have been very, very difficult for me, just going through personal struggles and difficulties and just really being mom to my teenagers, right? And I think in the process, um, I think I've lost myself somehow. I think my prior life was one where, I felt like everything was great. I had a career that I loved in private equity. I had wellness down to a T, I think. I was in the best shape of my life. And then the last 6 to 7 years have dealt me a very, very terrible blow. And I think I've lost myself along with my confidence, along with, who I was, and have dedicated the last few years to the children, making sure that they were okay and they were stable and they had what they needed. Now the kids are older, they're teenagers. My last one is in boarding school, and I suddenly find myself not knowing what to do with myself. And as I told you, Yawa, I've done coaching before, one-on-one coaching, which was amazing. But for this season of my life, I think I needed something a little bit more, or something different, not more. I think, it's not sort of more, not more, but something different. And I liked what Mirabel had said she had heard in your deep dive. I checked out, I mean, I spoke to you, I checked out a few of them. And I thought that this might be something that I was willing to try. I like the fact that it's also in a group. I feel like I might need that support at this point in time in my life. So yeah, so I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to get to know everyone um, and I'm really happy to learn. I'm actually looking forward to learning, getting to understand your journey, and learning as I go along, and hopefully it getting me to the place that I need to be the best self, to be the best, my best self, for the next phase of my life. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And, I've authored two books and um, I was just flipping the pages off my most recent book because chapter 2 of this book, the name of the chapter is You Cannot Be Your Best Self by Yourself. Um, Everyone's trying to be their best self. So this is, I don't know if you can see it, but you cannot be your best self by yourself. And this is something that God's taught me that no matter what the anointing was, God always, there's no such thing as self-made, self-sufficient in the kingdom. And we always need other voices. So when God's giving you a portal like you've got right now, kids more or less out of your hair day to day, it's an opportunity that, Lord, what would you have me do? And where are the new voices? Who are the new teachers? And how do I realign? And it can be scary because when you're in these transition phases, you know where you've been, but you don't quite see where you're going. And I'm glad to be a partner to you through this. And just thank you for sharing. And we look forward to what will unfold for you. All right. Next on my list is Sharon. Sharon, are you able to unmute and share?
Hi, everybody.
Greeting.
Good morning. Hi. Good evening, should I say? I'm in London. I'm Sharon. I'm a lawyer here in the UK and also in Ghana, but spend most of my time in the UK. In fact, I started a new job today, so it's kind of like a nice renew and reset. So that was really good. Um, the reason why I joined this program is I follow Yawa and saw how she transformed herself and I was like, wow, what did she do? And so when I found out about this challenge, I think what really stuck out for me was the holisticness of it. It wasn't just about weight loss, but it's everything else, relationships and exercise and work, which is really important with me. In November, I suffered a stress-related illness, which came out of nowhere. Probably I saw the signs that I was stressed, work related. I was not in a great environment. And I think part of it also was that understanding my relationship with colleagues and how to deal with certain situations. Um, I could have been a bit more better about that. So it'd be great. I'm really happy we're dealing about relationships. Also, my relationships with food. I've battled with my weight for such a long time. And so knowing what triggers me, I would say I'm probably a comfort eater. So dealing with that. Yeah. And obviously, as everybody else has said so far, consistency and accountability. If it's just me alone, I know I don't have the discipline. I can easily talk myself out of something, but where I've got accountability, I think I perform better. Yeah, and getting back into exercise, I haven't been doing as much exercise or drinking enough water. I think having that discipline to do that too. So I'm really looking forward to it and looking forward to meeting and getting to know others on the program.
Awesome. And congrats on the new job. We wish you
Thank
the
you.
best. And I'm really pleased that you're here with us. And I pray this will really be a transformative journey on every level. You know, I can so identify with the not having the rigor for exercise. I can also identify with the comfort eating. I can also identify with, just how do you reset certain relationships so that your life can move forward? One of my coaches had said something that I have really loved, that everything you're looking for is usually on the other side of a difficult conversation. And as we dig into relationships this next 10 days, I really want everyone to just bring it and sit with the discomfort that some of the sessions and the questions and the reflections will require. That, the hard questions of like why we are what we are and how we show up and why we show up this way. In it lies these gems to really help you on the journey to what's next and best. So thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing and for being part of this. Um, Next on my list, oh, have we heard from everyone? It looks like we have. Did I skip anyone? Did we hear from you, Doreen? Doreen, are you able to unmute and share? I don't recall calling your name.
No, you haven't called my name yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to park the car and then, okay, and try turn my video on now.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, good evening, Yawa, and good evening, everyone. My name is Doreen. By profession, I'm an HR person. I'm also a leadership coach to C-suite executives. I'm a mother of two young adults. Um, yeah, I guess that's about the hats that I wear. Um, I do two jobs. I've been doing two jobs for the last since 2013, so 12 years. Yeah. Um, why did I join this program? Now, hearing Yawa say she prayed for all of us, I'm like, oh, Doreen, you have been so canal. Joined simply because I saw the transformation, um, Yawa's transformation physically. So really, that's why that was my primary motive for joining. Um, I had said to I just left my kids, I visit them once a year, and I have a 25-year-old and a 22-year-old. And I had a conversation with my son this year, telling him all the things I wanted to do before I turned 50 in 19 months. And he said to me, Mommy, do you feel like you missed out on a lot of things because you married early and had us early? And I said to him, sometimes I feel like that. So this year I set three words for to guide my choices, and it was release, explore, and bliss. Um, Trying to release the inhibitions. I'm a professional coach, so I understand the power of coaching. So I hired a coach as a gift to myself as well this year. So working through that, we've had session 0 of 6. Um, so yeah, I joined for the transformation. I love community to a fault because I'm looking for an opportunity to see how we grow and thrive together. But to be honest with everybody in this team, I joined really for the physical transformation. I want to, in my head, I have a particular dress that I want my big sister gifted me, and I want to wear it for my 50th birthday. So I want to lose the pouch I've been carrying around since I had my first child. But I'm just on a journey to find the next phase of what's possible for me. Unlike a lot of the traditional things, the traditional mold where you finish uni, you live in your parents' house, you get married. I didn't have that. I was in uni where I met a boy and we got married straight away. So like I had my first child when I was in level 300. So it's been back to back. It's the first time in my life that 2 years ago when if my younger child left home for university, I kind of just felt okay, what do I do with this new phase of my life? So in my last week session with my coach, he did say to me to explore who I am when all the rules I take out all the rules that I play. And I've been thinking through that reflectively, and it's an interesting journey. So I'm really happy to have this community of strong, beautiful women to journey together, learn together, and rediscover together. So thank you, Yawa, for this opportunity.
My pleasure. And thank you for the backstory. I'm excited for you. And it sounds a bit like one of the others who spoke before. I think Nana Afua, but she's also at this crossroads of trying to see what's next with the kids aged out and trying to, but there's nothing wrong with a little vanity, wanting to get rid of the pouch, get in that dress. It's a great motivation, right? I stood on the scale just this morning and I realized, the things I was eating this Christmas have shown up. So I said to myself, okay, I gotta increase the intensity of my workouts this coming week. So I think, just having certain metrics, even if they're practical, are also helpful. But I like how I feel right now, and I keep telling God, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose the disciplines. I don't want to lose the fact that I'm off all those pills, like the pills for diabetes and hypertension. I don't want to go back. I remember what those side effects were. I remember the night sweats and the muscle cramps and the just, it was not what I felt was the best. And it's part of the reason why I feel like each challenge is still for me. Like you all are here too, but it's also still for me. I don't want to get complacent to feel like, okay, I've done it, I know it, I'm going through it too. I pulled out my patches, like I've got this green, my sister always laughs at me when I show up with it, but like when we do nutrition, I pull out, like I make smoothies, I travel with like prepared meals, I go to town with my own food and things like that because I want to be deliberate. I'm carrying my water bottle. She's like, hey, you had too much. I'm like, look, you don't know what I'm looking for. I want to be well. I want to be fit. I want to be firm. I want to have enough energy and gas in the tank to do what God's called me to do. And I know what the alternative looks like because I lived it for so long and I don't want to lose this. So I share that to say some people might think you're extra. Some people might be saying, hey, you grab one cookie, will it kill you? One piece of cake, will it kill you? One this, but like if for 52 days I said I'm eating nothing but natural foods, I want to do that for me. I want to practice integrity with myself. It's not for you, it's not for whoever's talking. And I think like that's the balance of the journey for us. So I applaud you for joining us, Doreen, and I join faith with you that by the end of this, you'll fit in that dress and you'll send us pics or send us an invite so that we can we can celebrate with you as well. But what a joy. Um, all right, my chairman is in the room. Say hi, Mr. Chairman.
Hi, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, go downstairs. I'm coming, okay? Um, have we heard from everyone else? Maoto, can we try to hear from you again? I know earlier your microphone was not working. If you want to, if you want to type, we can. Oh, Joan also hasn't spoken. Forgive me for skipping you, Joan. So Joan, if you're able to unmute, or Maoto, or whoever goes first. And Sylvia and Lois, look, I keep taking off my glasses. I think that's the problem. I should just like accept the fact that I need to see clearly now. So if you haven't spoken, use the raise hand function if you're ready and let me call you. Maybe that's easier. All right, go ahead, Joan.
So I was trying to unmute. Hi, everyone, and good evening to those of us in Africa, and good afternoon and good morning. So I am based in the US. It's a significant day. Today we have a new president. It's MLK Day. There's a lot of things happening. And I am just taking count of this journey that I'm starting, and it will be, I'll have it on the calendar. I started this on MLK Day. So I'm excited to be here. I joined. Why did I join? Oh, let me first say about myself. So I am a mother of two young kids. I have a 10 and a 5, no, 11 and a 5. My sister introduced me to Yara. My sister's in Kenya. And she said, oh, you guys are mates. You should get together. I'm sure you guys have something in common. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I'm excited to tell her about this challenge, but I want to tell her after there's a big, huge change that, she'll say, oh, really? I'm so glad this happened. But I'm also excited because at work, we started a water challenge. We have done it now for 3 weeks. And I'm like, yes, at least I can keep up with my water drinking. Really, for me, this challenge was, I saw Yawa for sure on social media. And when I was just coming to June, I'm like, okay, let me see what this is all about. And when she gave me the 5 pillars, I was like, wow, that is different. I've never had anything like that. I've joined other New Year challenges, but I also don't want to be at a place where I am obese and diabetic, or I have high blood pressure, or all those things, because we eat a lot of processed food here. And I want to be able to give up some of those things and be able to live longer for my children. So that is always a motivating factor. And I have been exercising a couple of times, but I haven't been very consistent. So I'm looking for consistent and team motivation. And I remember this year as I started the year, and I'm telling myself I need to journal, I need to complete my vision board. But also, as we fast with my church or with the church, I am feeling different. And I'm like, I like this different. And I want to keep up with this different where my stomach is not bloated, where I had my periods and they're not painful and they're consistent. I'm like, oops, what did I do different? But I am really excited to see what else is there for me as a mom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joan. And I love that you pointed out that our start date is such a significant date in the US. A new president, it's a national holiday, it's many things. And wow, I'm glad that it's a red letter day in that sense. I also, you mentioned journaling, and one thing that I didn't mention is like each time I've done the challenge, I've done it with like a separate journal. Like I journal what I'm dreaming, what I'm eating, what I'm weighing, etc. And this is my red journal that I'm pulling out for this year's challenge. There's just something about um staying on record and keeping track of like what's happening, what God's speaking to you, what are you struggling with? Like for those who were on the challenge that I did in October that ended in November, I was telling them that I was struggling. I started snacking again in November after losing a near and dear friend. Like I realized that this became a thing that I started writing about. Like, can God give me victory over peanuts? Like every time I walk in the kitchen, I need a handful of peanuts in my mouth, just something to chew, something creamy and buttery and a little salty. Like, what is this thing that seems to have crept up, especially in my grief? And when you go back and you're reading, you're like, oh, this is the root of my comfort eating. Like when I'm grieved by something or in pain or anxious about something, my default is to food. Like, what can we do to change that? And I think the wisdom, the revelations, the unearthings along this journey are just so valuable. So I'm glad that you're seeing the difference. This isn't just about getting the weight off. This is also about addressing the roots of things that have been long-standing issues. So I'm excited. I understand Lois and Sylvia also haven't spoken. If either of you are able to unmute. Hi. Who's ready? Can you show me a raise hand function?
So yeah, well, I'm ready. Sylvia
Okay,
here.
go ahead, Sylvia.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I would have turned on my video, but at the moment I'm unable. But just to say, it's great to be here, and good evening to everyone. Sylvia Nagbesenu is my name, and I'm very happy and excited to be here. I am a lawyer, also been involved in working in the development sector, but also in areas of human rights. I should say, I am also a mom of three, a wife as well. But I wanted to mention that, okay, the specific reason why I'm here. So I actually also saw the transformation with Yawa physically, and I think that that was very inspiring. But beyond that, I think this was just last week when I had an encounter with Yawa. We got talking physically on something else. And then I kind of like tried to get some insights into the renewed challenge. And then I noticed and realized that it was beyond weight loss. And as a result, I got a lot more interested. But more particularly also for myself, I realized that for some time now, or a number of years now, I've just been focused a lot on focusing on the family, but at the same time on work. And sometimes I feel burnt out. Other times, you know that thing when you keep going, but you have not gotten the chance to stop, reflect, and kind of like get re-energized. And so I felt that I needed this. I mean, I've gotten to the point that I felt that I needed some
energy, but also some reboosting. And of course, the sense of accountability, as has been shared earlier, is also of great interest for me. But more particularly, doing this in a community is also very important. And particularly knowing myself, I get more accountable when I get into a community. And of course, I get into teams. So my specific purpose of being here, yes, is to get some re-energy, but also reboosting and renewing myself in various forms as has been shared, but also more particularly to connect and also get support from a team or the community together. It's actually already looking exciting because I've seen a couple of people I know already. I've seen Josephine, and also I've also seen Sharon, and so it's great to actually reconnect. But I'm looking forward to a period where we will all have an exciting time right here. And thanks a lot to Yawa for putting this together. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad we met last week and were able to, touch base, and that you just quickly jumped at this opportunity. I know what it's like to just feel like in need of rejuvenation. There's this psalm that I like. I think it's Psalm 103, verse 5, or 105, verse 3, something like that, that talks about God renews our youth like that of the eagle. And I did a bit of Bible study and just practical studying on how an eagle renews itself last year. And I just felt like that's what God was doing with me. The eagle like pulls back, flies to the highest, a cleft in the highest mountain, and then just sits. It breaks off its old beak, it puffs off its old feathers, and it just sits for like 180 days, going through a process that he has new plumage when he comes out of it, a new beak when he comes out of it. And it was just such an instructive insight for me, because I felt like that's what God did with me. Like I came out of this process, like different hairdo, different look, different everything. Like I feel like that eagle that got renewed. And I feel, more vibrant and more energetic than I have in all of my adult life, to be honest. And I remember I went to a holiday party over the Christmas holiday, and I saw, I used to be on the Ashesi University board. And so board members that I hadn't seen in like a year or so were like, oh my God, what has happened? Oh my, like it was like, for me, it's when people who haven't seen me for a long time see me, and the look, because now I'm used to me. I was sharing with the cohort that was with me in October and November. During October, during that second cohort, I traveled to the States and all of that. And I said, just the old shopping stores that I go to, and go to the plus size part of the store, I had to catch myself now that I don't belong there anymore. Like you get to shop here now. When I was underwear shopping, like you don't shop here anymore. You shop here now. And all of those things, like I'm having to get used to a new version of me. And similarly, part of the disclaimer I want to give you on this journey is you're going to be changing. And some of it will be rapid, some of it you can't quite make sense of. I remember in the early days, um, like my husband wasn't always on board. Like, what are you doing? I love you already. Like, what is this? You're being extra, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes your near and dearest will be like, why are you taking this so serious? Like, why are you, they were not there when this commitment was made. And I like to tell people, and this is not my original quote, but I heard it or read it somewhere. The call of God on your life was not a conference call. Like if God's calling you higher into this renewal, just say yes. Don't explain or try to convince, just do the thing. And I'm just glad you're here, Sylvia, and everyone else who's spoken so far. Like our commitment is that we feel our soul knows that we need this renewal, and we're going to do the thing. We're going to go through the process, even if it means we've got to pluck out old feathers, even if it means we got to break off our beak, even if it means we don't look like our glorious self for a minute, because that's what happens to the eagle. The eagle goes through this process where people who knew the eagle before will be like, ew, you don't look as good as you used to. Because I look at old photos. I did this conference last July and I was looking at those photos this week and I was like, oh my God, I didn't quite look great. But like my body was transforming. I was going through a process, but now like look what the Lord did. So I just really am grateful for all who have shared. Have we heard from everyone now? Did we hear from Lois? Lois, are you able to unmute and share?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Lois, are you speaking? Am I the only one who does not hear Lois?
I can't hear her either.
Okay. Lois, we seem to have lost you, and maybe for the sake of the recording, I may invite you to type in the chat box because we cannot hear you. Um, have we missed out on anyone else? Mautor, I know you couldn't speak before. Are you able to speak now? If so, please go ahead. I think your connection before was really poor. Okay,
Hello,
Lois.
good evening, everyone.
Okay, good. We've got you back. Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I'm on a night walk, so I can't come on camera. I hope you'll see my face another time. I'm
Great.
glad to be part of this renewed challenge. Um, so I'm Lois in Canada. I'm based in Kumasi. I'm married, a mother of three, and when I got the notice of this program, I read through the 5 points and I was excited about all of them. And then during the deep drive, I joined the day two, and then a friend of mine was also on board. So she had been in the October challenge and she encouraged me to be part. So I pray that it will be a journey of renewal for me and for all of us. Thank you and God bless you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lois. And it looks like you're already getting your movements in. Hey, overachievers in the house. But I'm glad to have you here. And I just pray that whatever drove you to say yes to this, that through this journey, you will find it and beyond. So help you, God. Have we heard from everyone now? I mean, I'm looking through the list. Where did I put my glasses? All right. I think we've heard from everybody now. If I have not heard from you, I welcome you to speak now or forever hold your peace. I think, it's time to wrap up tonight's kickoff meeting, but the purpose of tonight is for you to get to know who I am, for us to know who you are, and for the community to meet and greet. Our sessions are going to kick off this week. So Tuesday night, which is tomorrow, I'm going to do an intro session on relationship. I'll send out the calendar invites to each of the sessions. And like I said, worry not if you're unable to join live because everything is recorded and all of the links to the recordings go in the chat box. Go in the WhatsApp group as well as your inbox. And I'll share information on what we expect for confidentiality and discretion. My expectation that you being a part of this community does not replace the role of your doctor or your licensed medical professional. I am not a doctor, a nurse, or a nutritionist, etc. A lot of what I am sharing is my personal experience that was informed by my submitting myself to doctors and nutritionists, etc. I also want to encourage you to, as if you're able, and before we get into the nutrition piece of this work, to do a health screening and just see where you are. I'm planning to do another doctor's visit just to make sure my blood pressure, my cholesterol, and the things I used to be medicated for are still in check. And just to make sure that I'm doing all of these transformative things wisely. And I encourage you to do the same because we want to win. At the end of the day, we want to win. I also take different supplements that I will introduce you to as well, not to prescribe, but to let you know that if you're on a journey where you're making changes, it may be helpful to consult your doctor about what nutrients or additional supplementation may be helpful for you to enable you to meet your particular goals, especially when it comes to the physicality. But this week, we want to honor our 3 commitments, which means, starting tomorrow, I want you to drink at least 2 liters of water a day, please. We want you to move for at least 20 minutes, so I like to move in the morning before everything gets busy and crazy. So move and include weights if you can to build muscle and tone if you are, feel so led. Remember to journal, what were you dreaming? What's your expectation? What's your vision for this 52-day period? Like I said, each time we did the challenge, I just really committed a notebook. I like devices. I like my laptop. I like my phone, but I find that just to write on paper and pen when you're doing transformative work is just really beneficial. So if you can find just a booklet, a journal, it doesn't have to be fancy. It can be an exercise book, like a junior high school exercise book. It doesn't matter, just a dedicated place where you're writing down what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, etc. I remember in the early days, I was writing down about how I was struggling with, the taste of food and the taste of healthy food because, I cut out anything that had chemicals in it, especially these artificial seasonings that have monosodium glutamate in it. I cut out certain, everything that I ate, I wanted to be as natural as possible. And so I was just really struggling in the early days. And to read back over what my struggles were has encouraged me for this journey that if I was able to get over it, then I can get over it now. So I say all that to say, I hope this call has set you up for success on this 52-day journey. I will be available to you. I'm a, WhatsApp message away. Um, And as you can see, this Renew Challenge is one of many things that I do. You saw my little one because it's his bedtime. He's ready to be put down. So I got to go put him down. But I try to arrange the scheduling around my life. And I know that, the evening calls don't actually work for everyone, but this is what works for how my life is set up because, I serve my family first and foremost. And, I have other commitments to other clients often during the days. So we're going to keep these sessions in the evening Ghana time, but everything is recorded and you can always access it if you can't make a live call. We're also going to be connecting with I'm going to pair, each of us with an accountability partner for the journey. And the reason why we do that is because we're going to spend like 90 minutes together each time we meet on Zoom, and it's sometimes not enough. So to have someone else in the community that you can reach out to, call when you're having a challenge is always helpful. And so we'll get those pairings done over this weekend and share with you as well. And like I said, I'm really honored. I'm glad, I'm excited, but deep down, I'm honored as well that people think what's going on with me is interesting enough to be a partaker of. And I give God all the glory for that. If you don't mind, I'd love to pray for you before we disperse for tonight. Please check your emails. I do share calendar invites with the Zoom information as well, because I know not everyone lives on WhatsApp. But WhatsApp and email will be the primary ways that we will communicate. So if in doubt, drop an email, or if in doubt, send a WhatsApp, and I'll try to be as responsive as possible. And yeah. All right, so dear God, thank you for today. This is our kickoff meeting. These are the women. And I am just so honored that they said yes to this journey. By saying yes to this journey, they're saying yes to what you want them to do in their lives. I just commit and commend everyone to you, that Lord, what you did in me and are doing in me and are helping me to accomplish and do, that you will help these women achieve above and beyond the mental clarity, the weight loss, the reversal of disease, the resetting of their marriages or love relationships, the reconstitution of their parenting, the preparation for prominence, the whatever it is that each is believing for. We believe and trust you together as a community tonight that you will do it above and beyond. So, Father, be magnified in this whole 52-day journey. Help us to drink the water. Help us to move daily, whether we feel like it or not. Help us to fast, to cut off the thing that is just having too much dominance over our lives right now. Help us to be open and vulnerable and ready to learn and to grow together. Help us in our accountability partners to honor that pairing and to support one another so that this will be a beautiful experience. It'll be life transforming. It'll be turning points for each of us in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Well, thank you for letting me pray for you.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
The journey begins. So
Amen.
I want to see as much activity as you care to share in the WhatsApp group, and check your inbox for more info as well. So have a good rest of your night, and God willing, we'll meet tomorrow for session 1 on relationship. God bless you. Good night. Mwah. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.